Hello guys, so today I'm going to review this Nattokinase enzyme. It's an enzyme capsule supplement. So what it is the 2000 FUS or FUs of activity. I bought this in Vietnam, and even though this is recommended for blood flow, so apparently this clears the fibroids and wherever is obstructing the free circulation of blood through the veins. I didn't buy this because of that. I bought it because this is also good for fibroids, so also good for like when you have something that is not helping you with mobility or even losing weight actually, or perhaps if you had an operation and you had a scar, this can also kind of eat the scar tissue. In theory, of course, but I do believe it. I do believe it has helped. So if you're looking for a quick reply, a quick outcome, yes, it does work. At least it has worked for me. However, there are some considerations that you should know. So what it is, this enzyme actually helps with, it actually makes you feel better, but you have to take it very slowly. And what I mean by that is that, for example, in my case, I started taking this, I think 3 times a week, orally, and then I increased to daily, or maybe 4 times a week. However, I started feeling some sort of pain in my left arm, and just a funny sensation. So I stopped it for a while. I paused this Nattokinase, and then I resumed slowly again, and this time I felt those symptoms almost straight away. So then I decided to stop it again, and then after a while I started it again. But then I got the same. I mean, I don't know if I was going through stress during those days, and this would make it worse, the sensation or whatever. You know, when you think about something, you may feel it, kind of a placebo effect. I also had read reviews about people saying that they feel some sort of arm aches, you know, like a sore arm, left arm especially. So I decided to stop it. After that, the FU stands for fibronilic units. There you go. So after that, I realized that, okay, well, I don't really need to consume it because I don't need it for anything else but to address certain issues locally. So I decided to use my ultrasound machine, which I'm using. So as you know, I use my ultrasound machine with castor oil, not with the gel. And then I decided to open these capsules and spread it on the oil that I had already spread on my the part of my body where I wanted it to work. And it kind of created a small paste. And then I used the ultrasound machine because I read something online that the Nattokinase and actually a lot of things can be absorbed through the skin, perhaps not at the same rate, and you know, like you would with other things, like taking it orally, for example. But it does go through the skin. Something is absorbed. So I started doing it. And remember, these are enzymes, so these are things that actually eat other things, or help you with that. So in the beginning it was okay, so I was using it one time a week or something, and I thought, well, then I felt nothing in my arm, it was all good. And then when I decided to use it more frequently, like almost every day, then I noticed my skin, the skin around the area where I was applying this with the ultrasound, was becoming very itchy and very red, which had never happened when I was just using the ultrasound with the castor oil. Especially very itchy, and I could see some red dots. So I decided not to use it. I decided to stop using it. And then I started again. So this time I decided to do 2 times a week, and then slowly 3 times a week. And I can say that this has actually helped me now, because I'm using it 3 times a week. It does help. This is kind of an almost empty container now. I bought it here in Vietnam from this company called Chim Store. Kind of the only place where I could find it in Vietnam, and somehow reputable store. So yeah, it did work for me in terms of applying it with castor oil and my ultrasound machine. I did notice some improvements. So I've been doing this for a long time. It does. I mean, I think it's a combination of the ultrasound and the enzyme that penetrates more, because the ultrasound also helps deliver some of the whatever you put on, you know. So yeah, this is how it comes. It comes with this seal, kind of like aluminum seal, and there we go. That's what we have there. As you can see, there's only one left. It comes with something called pillow pack. So yeah. Okay, so this is the very last capsule that I have on that, in that container. What I'm going to do is what I do for the ultrasound is I just open the capsule. So I separate these 2 parts, and I put the inside on top of the castor oil that is already on my leg, on the part of my body. And then it just with the ultrasound, it kind of penetrates inside, so it does work. Obviously I think it's a combination of factors. So if you need something that can I don't know, help you with some fibroids or things that you have, perhaps you've been in a cast, or perhaps you've had an injury and your mobility is reduced a little bit, you know, perhaps you're not as flexible. This helps, and I have seen the improvements, and this is why I continue using it. However, this is my own experience, of course. I'm not suggesting anything, just something I read, and so far the product is good. I'm not sure. I want to believe it's a genuine product. So far, this is the presentation, and that's how I've been using it. Oh, there's one more thing I forgot to mention. I also eat the actual natto, the actual Japanese natto, where this comes from. So I know a lot of people don't really like eating natto because it has some sort of not very pleasant taste, but for me it's actually very nice. I find natto very tasty, actually. I find it like it's a mixture of coffee and wine. Obviously it's not sweet at all, but kind of find it nice, and I look forward to the time when I'm going to eat it. And I haven't had any pains, nothing really by eating the natto, the Japanese natto. So yeah, perhaps that helped as well. So I was doing this and eating the natto, so that may have had some sort of influence, but that's it. Okay, thank you for watching, guys, and don't forget to subscribe.